Hello! I interrupt today's Tune a Day, if you've been watching those, thank you, for another songbook instead, because I really like doing songbooks and I stopped doing them on Songbook 4 because we ran out of books to read songs from, because I stopped writing in songbooks when I was about 18, 19. But I thought today I could share with you some songs inspired by books, which might be a bit of a stretch, but that's kind of songbook, I guess. And I've got a few, actually, not that many. I'd like to write more songs inspired by books because it's really good fun, but I have got a few, and it just so happens that they weren't written in any of the songbooks, so I haven't shared them yet. So I'm going to do that today. But yeah, thank you for being here. I hope you're all well. My heart goes out to all of you. I know there's lots of crazy things happening in the world at the minute, but hopefully we can just kind of forget about that for now. Just for now, just for a little bit. Then we'll get back to it, and we'll get on it, and we'll be active, and we'll change the world. So the first book, speaking of changing the world, the first book that I was inspired to write a song about ever was this one, To Kill a Mockingbird by Harper Lee, which I'm sure you all know and have probably read. I truly believe it should be compulsory reading for everybody, and it covers a lot of very important topics, especially now. But at the time when I read it as a teenager, I was very much just kind of so enamoured by Scout, the protagonist in this book, or possibly the protagonist in this book, and kind of the way that she found herself kind of all wrapped up in this adult world and not really knowing what's going on, not really understanding, and I was just, yeah, anyway, this is a really good book. So I wrote a song called Scout, and yeah, it's from the perspective of Scout. And it's not massively original, it kind of just tells the story how I interpreted it, so this is Scout. So how was I to know that he was really a person who'd show some kind of displeasure? Were we to throw some bother in his direction? There was nothing to prove but a half-closed window that someone was in there, with actual hope that I wouldn't join in. Walking in tow, I just wanted to show my affection. So I'll scout out the land to find any man who has any idea what's occurring. But it seems now to me that unfortunately nobody knows what they're doing. Nobody knows, nobody knows, nobody knows what they're doing. Nobody knows, nobody knows, yeah, nobody knows what they're doing. And I was so upset that I'd ruined his day, that I looked for some wisdom to point out the way, but it never did work and it never did stay, even when I paid attention. My father, he loved me, but he used to say that I don't get it now, but I will do someday. You have to be patient, you just have to wait until you find your intentions. So I'll scout out the land to find any man who has any idea what's occurring. But it seems now to me that unfortunately nobody knows what they're doing. Nobody knows, nobody knows, nobody knows what they're doing. Nobody knows, nobody knows, and nobody knows what they're doing. And there was an old lady lived over the road. She looked weathered and wise, so I thought she might know what I should be doing and where I should go, but she told me there was no direction. So when I asked her why, she said that's just life, and there really is no way of knowing. And it comforts me that I can now see nobody knows what they're doing. Oh, when I asked her why, she said that's just life, and there really is no way of knowing. And it comforts me that I can now see nobody knows what they're doing. Cool. Okay, so the next book that I was inspired by comes with a story. The next book is Song of the Sea Maid by Rebecca Maskell, and I actually have an entire EP of songs about this book. And a few months before she released it, Rebecca emailed me and asked if I'd play at her book launch. I was like, yeah, cool. And she kind of jokingly said you could write a song about it if you like. So I did. So this is the book. I actually have a few copies of this. Is the one with all my notes in it that I got before it was released, and then I had to buy this beautiful hardcover copy. It's just gorgeous. I'm geeking out, Becca, if you're watching. I'm totally geeking out about your books right now because it's an ace book, and I even have a paperback, and I'm not sure if I bought this one or if it was given to me. Can't remember. I clearly haven't read that one, that version. So that's a really stunning book. Again, another very inspiring female protagonist. And I kind of tell the story in my songs, I suppose, but I'll just read a little bit of the blurb. It says, an orphan in a home for the destitute dreams of being a scientist. But this is the 18th century and she is a little girl. And she goes off and well, I won't give you any spoilers, but it's very good. And I remember vividly, I got to a point in the book, probably about halfway through, maybe, whichever one of these tabs it is, I don't know, but I got to a point and I just had to stop reading because I had it in my head, I'll read the book and then I'll try and figure out how to write a song about it. But there was a point, probably here actually, where it's been opened, where I just had to stop reading and I was like, I need to write. I have to write right now. I was just so inspired. I'm not going to get distracted by reading. So I'm going to share a couple of songs with you from this book. The first is called Song of the Sea Maid, and it was the first one I wrote. All it takes is one strong hand, a pen and a piece of paper, but all they'll take is another man with a plan to lead this growing nation. Where do I come in? Where do I come in? Can I go there with you? And can I join in? I've got a mind of ideas, no one to tell them to. I need to find a way to this mysterious land, but I'm confined to this space, and I'll be damned if I ever get away, if I ever escape, but I will make it my sole purpose. All it takes is pure determination, and I will fight for my place. Hear her calling. I have battled the storms of the ocean. I have seen things you wouldn't believe in. I am taller now, guided only by the light of my shadow. I have found the home of the queen, and I am taller now. Hear her calling, I can hear her calling, I can hear her calling, I can hear her calling, oh yeah. It's her song, yeah. Calling, I can hear her calling, I can hear her calling, this is where I belong, oh. Calling, I can hear her calling, I can hear her calling, oh yeah. It's her song, yeah. Calling, I can hear her calling, I can hear her calling, this is where I belong. Guided by the storms of the ocean, I have seen things you wouldn't believe, and I am taller now to hear her calling. Guided only by the light of my shadow, I have found the home of the queen, and I am taller now. Oh, hear her calling, I can hear her calling, I can hear her calling, I can hear her calling, oh yeah. It's her song, calling, I can hear her calling, I can hear her calling, this is where I belong. Calling, I can hear her calling, I can hear her calling, oh yeah. It's her song, calling, I can hear her calling, I can hear her calling, I can hear her calling. I recommend that book. It's very good. It's a very good book. Okay. The second song is called She Ran to the Water. And if you've poked about on my YouTube channel, you might have seen a version of this where I'm dancing around in my front room. Still had dreadlocks at the time. Looked a little bit like what's his face from that pirate thing. Anyway, this is She Ran to the Water. No, how does this one go? She didn't believe in the truth that was taught to the world. Can you believe it? I bet you wouldn't dream it. So she tried to do what was best for her. Can you believe it? She was persecuted, and she knew the answer wasn't within these walls. Can you believe it? She tried to leave it, so she ran to the water. What she found really caught her, and she said, this is my home and I know I'll stay. I found a better life and nothing's in my way, 'cause I've got bigger plans and I know what I'll do, and I've run out of reasons to listen to you. And she found home in the arms of nature, and she was warm, but the odds weren't in her favor. When disaster struck, she was forced to run. Can you believe it? I bet you wouldn't dream it. But she was determined to overcome disaster. This is my home and I know where I'll stay. I found a better life and nothing's in my way, 'cause I've got bigger plans and I know what I'll do, and I've run out of reasons to listen to you. listen to you. Da, 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 da. Okay. Song of the Sea Maid by Rebecca Maskell. This next one is the last one. We're gonna get a little bit slow now. This one is based on a non-fiction book. It's called How We Are by Vincent Deary. And yeah, I was very taken by, it kind of uses, if any of you know anything about the kind of 3-act structure in novel writing and in cinema and all that kind of thing, he relates the human experience to that. And at the time I was studying a writing course, so it kind of just clicked with me. But yeah, the blurb is, "We are creatures of habit and we live in small worlds. But what happens when change disrupts our lives? This book, the first in a trilogy," I didn't know that, I must find the other ones, "offers profound insight into the human mind and heart, how we are, how we break, and how we mend." But I was particularly taken by, I think quite early on in the book, he talked a little bit about conflict and that kind of thing, and habit, and so I had a lot of other stuff going on in my mind at the time, so I wrote a song that was inspired by this and also politics. So yeah, I think this can probably still relevant today. Okay, this is a song called Beaten Path. When you find a new path not yet trodden through, it's too difficult to cut through, the thorns will break you. And scared of the unknown, it's too hard to fight. We don't know what's in there, let us hide behind statistics, not empathy. Men making men machines. And that path needs beating and beating again, till the bruises, the pain, they become a way to make killers of men. 'Cause we're creatures of habit, repetition is ease. Keep feeding us bullshit and we'll soon believe in statistics, not empathy. Men making men machines. Oh, how much water we need before we will bleed out. If we don't figure this out, we're gonna ruin it for ourselves. And it seems safer to stick to what we know to be true. But if they're clever enough, they can use all that stuff to break you. Subtle hints that something's not right, develop it slowly in long stretches of time, and we'll believe that nothing's even changed. Yeah, we'll let ourselves believe nothing's even changed. ourselves out of this trend. When that path's been beaten, I'm meeting again. 'Cause we're creatures of habit, repetition is ease. Keep feeding us bullshit and we'll soon believe in statistics, not empathy, and men making men machines. Yeah, we're creatures of habit, repetition is ease. Keep feeding us bullshit and we'll soon believe in statistics, not empathy, men making men machines. Oh, how much water we need before we will bleed out. If we don't figure this out, we're gonna ruin it for ourselves. We still believe in statistics, not empathy, men making men machines. Oh, how much water we need before we will bleed out. If we don't figure this out, we're gonna ruin it for ourselves, for ourselves. Bleed again. Oh, and how do we get ourselves out of this trend? When that path's been beaten, I'm beaten again. That got loud. Yeah, that's it. That is my 4 songs inspired by books. I'm going to leave it at that. And yeah, there's going to be more songbook sessions, and they will take slightly different forms. I won't necessarily be reading old songs anymore because I've run out of those. But yeah, it's going to keep happening on a Sunday for now, 5 p.m, so that nobody's missing Strictly. But yeah, we'll see how it goes. So thank you for being here and sending my love to all of you. Yeah, I hope that you're well. I hope that you're still smiling. And I'll see you again very soon. Thank you for being here. Bye bye.